Hey, welcome back, folks, to Ye Little Fab Shop. So, a few things to touch on today. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite tools for fabrication. It's a deburring tool, something I wanted to go over with you guys. I don't think that a lot of people know about them. I know that a lot of people do, but I have introduced that tool to a lot of people and they immediately fall in love with it. So we're going to go over that. The other thing is exactly what you're looking at. I picked up a welding table. This was a Craigslist deal. It is a 4-foot wide by 6-foot long table with a 1/2-inch thick top. And these numbers are rough. It's a little bit wider than 4 feet and it's a little bit longer than 6 feet. But it was a Craigslist special. I only gave $400 for it. And some of you might think that's a lot of money. But if you check out the price of steel, even used, including these 1,800-pound casters, all 4 of them, they're all casters and they're all greasable. Those are $200. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal. This table does need a little bit of rehab, however. So I guess just to dive into that real quick before we get into the tool and the other major shop upgrade. I don't know if you guys have ever shopped for or purchased large pieces of sheet metal like this, but even brand new, they have a bit of a wow to them. So an arch, and if I put a straight edge from this end to that end, I have about 5/16 or so, almost 3/8 of an inch gap. And we need to straighten that out. So the person that built this originally, I think that he was probably a fairly decent welder. I can tell by looking at his welds. But I'm not sure that he had ever built a welding table before. So instead of correcting the wow by building a subframe out of, let's say, C-channel or rec tube, he just welded the legs straight to the plate. And I don't think that helped either, because it seems like right around here or so, the plate dives even more than the rest of the plate. So we need to get that straightened out. I'm going to take a cutoff wheel and I'm going to buzz those welds off. We're going to build a subframe, get it underneath it, and see if we can straighten this table out. So if we can straighten this table out, that would be great. I'd be $487 into it with the C-channel, and I can have myself a decent welding table, something I desperately need in the shop, and it is just the right size. So, okay, pretty exciting news here. We're gonna get to the 2 shop upgrades. I lied earlier, I said 1. I'm gonna try and keep this video relatively short. I upgraded my welding hood in a big way to a Viking 3354C technology helmet. This thing is a beast. Very nice headgear. Enough settings for me. I don't need a crazy amount of settings. This thing does exactly what it's supposed to. Very nice hood. So I've used it for about a half hour. You can't even tell. It's such a pleasure to use. So my old hood, the viewing screen on it, it's about a quarter the size. So going from this to this, it sure it sure made my day. That is a Lincoln Electric hood. I bought that probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I have put some miles on it. Not a bad hood. For now, I'm going to keep it, and it's going to be an instructor's hood, because I've taught a fair amount of people how to weld, and I didn't have a second hood. So it's going to be really nice. Actually, my wife is really interested in learning how to weld. So she gets to use the nice new one, and I can be the instructor. Okay, moving on. Good stuff right there, guys. I got myself an Oxy. Oh, I just whistled. An Oxy acetylene torch. Another Craigslist special. Again, I paid $300 for this. It is perfect, nice small setup for my shop. I don't need, you know, 300 cubic foot bottles. This is exactly what I need. I've used it on some 1/2-inch plate, just doing some practice cuts and getting used to the torch. So far so good. I don't have any complaints with that. $300 for the bottle, regulators, torch, lines, the dolly, the whole 9 yards. So I was debating on whether or not to get a plasma cutter or oxyacetylene setup, and I decided on the oxyacetylene because it's more versatile. I can, in a sense, well, not TIG weld, but I can weld thinner metals with it and do a fine job with it. I can cut holes. I can cut a car in half if I wanted to. Not that I plan on it. But I can also hook a rosebud up to the torch, and I can bend steel back to where it's supposed to be. So all those big upgrades, guys. Okay, finally, let's get to this tool. Deburring tool. I got this one from McMaster-Carr. If you are unfamiliar with McMaster-Carr, oh my goodness, check them out. Amazing place. They sell only high quality stuff. Really high quality stuff at a fairly reasonable price, considering it is an industrial supply online store. So what this does, you have a little deburring tool end that swivels, and you drag it around your workpiece like so, and it leaves a perfect, and I mean perfect, edge. Okay, doing this one-handed, not being able to hold my workpiece. Bam, deburred. Now, what it works really well for is aluminum. It does work great on mild steel, but it also does a heck of a good job on aluminum or brass. Really, just about any metal, anything that's not hardened. These little tools are high-speed steel, so if you use them on a hardened material, you're gonna booger up the cutting edge, and you might as well throw it away. They do make a bunch of different style ends. Some have hooks, some have 45s. There's various different tips that you can get for it, but for the most part, this is gonna deburr just about the inside of anything. And I'm going to set the camera down, and I'm going to deburr the inside of this. I just got done cutting these on my my horizontal bandsaw, and I cut them coming down this way, so it leaves a bit of an edge, as you can see. And so I'll just show you guys how we can take that off, and it leaves you with a real nice surface. In this instance, I probably don't need to deburr it because it's just going to get welded up, but I have a thing about deburring. I always deburr my material, even if it's going to get welded. It's just something that I do. Some might disagree with that, and that's totally fine. But it working in fabrication shops, in plants where customers will eventually end up touching these surfaces, they just ingrained it into my brain. You always deburr your parts. So anyway, I'm gonna go get the little head dealing on, and we're gonna deburr some parts. Okay guys, so here we have the 4-inch C-channel in place. You just hold it fast. Boom. No more sharp, pokey, cutty edge. It won't leave you bleeding, folks. So that was one end. Let's do the other. So it is, if you're not paying attention, it is easy to have this slip off and potentially cut something. So you always want to be careful, and you always want to be wearing safety glasses. But it makes this nice little curly Q. Yeah, it cleans it up perfect. That's all you got to do. You don't have to get a little you know, 2-inch or 3-inch pneumatic grinder in there. It only takes a few seconds. And it also, like I said, it does work really well on aluminum. So I don't deburr everything with this. It's mostly just these inside parts. If you're boring a hole like so, it works really well for I mean, this is the absolute perfect application for this tool. Deburring the insides of parts. So yeah, this is the hay grapple. I'm moving the hay hooks forward. You can see I bored my other holes, tap my 5/16 18 threads for the bushings. I got one more hole to drill. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So anyway, guys, that is one of my favorite fabrication tools. I figured that I would show it to you. If you've never heard of them, check them out. So I think that's gonna do it for this video. Do it for this this tool public service announcement. For those of you that are fabricators, definitely check these things out. They are worth it. I think this one, this is kind of a nicer one. It might have been 20 bucks. You can get them less expensive than that. You can probably find them for 10 bucks or so. It's well worth it. You're gonna love it. I can guarantee it. It'll make quick work of what used to be a bit of a hassle. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Stay tuned for more. I may or may not take you along for the whole straightening out of the table. I'm not totally sure exactly what I'm gonna do yet. Oh, a robin just flew into the shop. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Y'all take care, and we'll catch you on the next video.